Hi, in this video I'll be going over how to update requisites with CCN courses. So these are basically courses that have prerequisites or co-requisites with the old Palomar College numbering, and we want to change them so those prerequisites have the new Common Course numbering. So these are the steps. So first you'll log into the Palomar College single sign-on. Once you've logged in, find the Maverick tile, which is the curriculum management system, and click Login. After that, you'll click on the curriculum drop-down menu and search for the course. Type the name of the course that you want to change. So this is an example, but Art 295 has a prerequisite with the old Palomar College numbering, and we want to change it to the new Common Course numbering. So I'll search for it, and then you're going to click the Modify button. If you don't see it, you can contact the curriculum specialist or curriculum co-chair for help. And then a drop-down menu will be available, and you're going to select Course Change, Credit. Please make sure you don't choose CCN modification. That's only for the courses that are transitioning to CCN. You're making an update to your prerequisites, so this is a course change. Click Create. This might take a few moments, so please be patient. Once it's loaded, you'll see something like this. The orange indicates that those fields are incomplete, but you may need to go to other areas that need updating. On the main tab, the two things you definitely need to change are the semester, and then you need to provide a proposal justification. So for the Phase 2 Common Course numbering courses, you're going to select Fall 2026 as the future effective date. For Phase 3, it'll be 2027, and Phases 4 and after, you can find out from the curriculum committee when those dates are. And down here, you're going to provide a summary of the changes made. For this, you can write updating prerequisite, or prerequisites if it's plural, with Common Course numbering. You can write something like that to that effect. And if you make multiple changes, please make sure you list them so that the curriculum committee, faculty senate, and governing board are aware. And make sure you're checking for spelling or grammar, because this will be public facing, so we want to make sure that it's accurate. After that, you'll go to the requisites, and you'll find the old Palomar College numbering, and you're going to switch it to the new Common Course numbering. So to do that, you have to click the toggle, that arrow, and then you scroll down, and then you want to make the change here. So with the Common Course numbering, it's not going to be Art, it's going to be Art H, and then I choose the course, so Art 165 is going to be Art H C1100, and then I can close it when I'm done. And then this one also needs to change, so I'll go ahead and do that. And the 166 is going to become the C1200. So that's all you need to do in this area. In addition, you also need to validate the requisites. This provides a justification for why it's a requirement. And here you'll select yes. And this one, I don't know why it moved up, so I'm going to move it down so they're in the same order that they were before. And I'm going to click on this downward arrow to open the validation. Sometimes the requirements for validation information changes over time, so what may have been approved in the past might need to change. I provided a summary in the Canvas page on how to validate requisites. It kind of depends on what type of prerequisite or co-requisite it is. But the two most common types are sequential prerequisites and standard. Sequential just means that you need to take this one class before you take the next class. And the way that you validate it is you list the objectives from the prerequisite course, and then in the second box, here I'll just pull it up here. In this first box, you list the objectives from the requisite course, which in this case is Art History C1100. You can choose the objectives that are necessary to succeed in this Art 295. And then in the second field, you'll list the objectives from the course in review, which is the Art 295. And these are 5 points of knowledge, so you need 5 objectives. And if they're more than 5, you can consolidate them, or if they're fewer than 5, maybe draw from the student learning outcomes or the content, but you do need 5. I'm going to walk you through the steps for how to do each one, depending on what you need. So I'm going to search for the objectives for Art History C1100. I don't want to lose this tab, so I'm just going to go back here to the course and right click, and I'm going to open it into a new tab so I can keep this one intact and kind of copy and paste. And in that new tab, I'm going to search for Art History C1100 and pull up the course outline. And I'm going to make a report of the course outline to make it easy to copy and paste. And then I see in this course there's the part 1, that's the part of this common course numbering template, and these look pretty similar to the part 2 is the local objectives. They're looking pretty similar, so maybe I'll just copy and paste these 3, or if you want you can copy and paste all of them. So I'm going to go back to my my requisite validation for this class, and here I'll list the objectives and number them. And then I need 5 points of knowledge. These need to be the objectives from this class. So I'm going to create a report, a course outline, and then I'll scroll down and find those objectives. There's 3 of them, so that's not enough. I need 5. So you may read this carefully and see if you can, oh, sorry, maybe there were 4. You can see maybe these have a lot and they can be separated, or maybe you can draw, like I said, from the student learning outcomes, or maybe from here. You can adjust, but you do need to make sure you have 5 here. And then in this case, the rationale would be the sequential course prerequisite. If the prerequisite is a standard prerequisite, that means it's required by the CSUs or UCs, and in that case, for the validation information, you would list at least 3 CSUs or UCs that have the same prerequisite. So I'll give you an example. So maybe it's CSU San Marcos, and you would put the catalog year. So you'd need to search their catalog and then find the equivalent course to Art 295. Maybe it's called Art 3 or 290. And then what was the prerequisite that's similar to Art History C1100? So their prerequisite is Art 110. That's similar to this course. So you need to do the same for different, maybe it's UC San Diego, etc. And then for standard prerequisites, the 5 points of knowledge are not required, so you can just put NA. And then here, for the reason, you would list the this would be the standard prerequisite. And then you would repeat the same process for the other course if you have more than one. And this may be a good opportunity to check all of them to make sure they were done properly. Okay? After you're done, go back to the main page, make sure that whatever changes you made, that it's listed here if you did additional changes, and then finally you click launch. And then after that, you just need to keep track of your proposal. You could go to your approvals tab to see if it's in your queue, if it was sent back for revision. Check your emails. If there was a request, you may receive an email. Check with the curriculum co-chairs if you're not sure, but keep track of your proposal to make sure that it's making its way through the approval process. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the curriculum committee co-chairs, the requisite reviewer, or CCN faculty lead. Thank you.